I would make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat a submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk like the show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get dangerous. Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get
What's really good, man? Put it on, put it on. Come on. Oh, man. What's going on, man? Knockout. Claymore Blue got you down bad. Holla at me. Man, it's it. Knockout? What you talking about right now? It's not even the real knockout right now, bro. Is that the real knockout? Let me see, bro. Let me see. Oh, you guys are disgusting. Oh, it is knockout. What's good, knockout? Why he got me down bad, man? Why he got me down bad, man? What's going on? It is you. Interestingly enough. Why am I down bad, man? Blue got you down bad. Holla at me. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know if I'm down. And if I am down, I don't know if Blue got me down. But salute, man. Good to see you in the building. Hope everything is good with you, man. Hope your whole family is holding it down like I know they are, man. I know you're doing your thing, man. Salute to you. Salute to everybody who is in the building, man. We here to build, recap on what happened last night. A lot of movement happening. MATCHROOM put a decent little card on, but I think more significantly were the fights and what they meant to the division. We had some important fights put on. Joe Cordina looks like he's claimed pole position in challenging Abdullah Mason next for that WBO championship. Seems to be all aboard on letting Abdullah have that home field advantage in Cleveland, which I'm sure Abdullah Mason will be interested in doing that as well. We'll talk about stylistically what that fight means for Abdullah Mason, a fighter who's the youngest champion in the space right now, and really could use the round, right? Could use the experience, really got fast-tracked in many ways, even though he was a very active fighter for the last year and a half or so, still didn't seem to get the kind of experience in that you'd want to see him get in before getting in a championship fight. Granted, he went ahead and pulled it off, became a champion in a very, very competitive, right, title fight that he got into, and those rounds were valuable, of course, against Sam Noakes. But still, look, who was he going to fight next was the question. He ended up being in the big leagues, right, in the big conversation as a champion. Now the level of competition steps up. You're talking about mandatories, people who are earning the position to get a shot at the title shot. And, you know, as a young man, he's growing up fast in this space. So Joe Cordina looks like he's game and wants to take a shot, 34, 35 years old, however old Joe Cordina is, getting maybe his last opportunity to become a champion in the space. We'll talk about that and what that looks like for Abdullah Mason. Of course, the main event, Diego Pacheco versus Kevin Lele Sajo, ended up being, I think a lot of people who really watched Kevin Lele Sajo understood and knew that that fight could look the way it did, right? And it was a real tough, gritty fight for Diego Pacheco. But look, Diego Pacheco got knocked down for the first time. He was down, and he got up, reacted well, showed that grit. Maybe that was the test he needed, right? Maybe that was a test he needed. Regardless, puts himself in position now, gaining himself, I believe, some sort of silver WBO or WBC, title. You know how those sanctioning bodies go with that title. But I think more importantly, puts him right in line to getting a championship fight on the back end of Terrence Crawford being stripped of a WBC title. Rumor was spinning around. The rumorville was going on saying it was going to be Christian and Billy and Hamza Shiraz fighting for that vacant title. Now it looks like the powers that be may be looking at having a little bit of interest in putting Hamza Shiraz against Diego Pacheco. And I think stylistically, that fight right there is a very, very interesting fight as well. I'm opening up the panel, by the way. Let me go ahead and throw it up right now if that's what tonight's about, to be honest with you. I'm really trying to organize it. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Sunday night open panels just off the rip. Just put the link out there and we can start with open panels. You guys know we come on Tuesday and Thursdays at 3 p.m., only for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just to kind of run off what's going on during that week, and obviously going into the fights that are going to be on Saturday. And Saturday, we're obviously covering the fights, but I think Sunday I'm going to reserve it for that open panel, right? Just people to come up, build on what happened on the fights on Saturday. And we can also do a nice wrap-up of what happened throughout the whole entire week as well. Right. So salute to everybody who's in the building. On top of that, now Devin Haney, it looks like Rolly Romero doesn't want to make that fight happen. You know how the business of boxing is. We can get into that conversation as well. Looks like potentially Bill Haney may be negotiating with Eddie Hearn on potentially giving Devin Haney an opportunity to unify with Lewis Crocker on a IBF WBO unification fight. I think we can talk about that as Devin Haney continues to move back and get back on the track of what he's known for, which is legacy fights, becoming champion, unifying, chasing down undisputed, things of that nature. Looks good to me. If Lewis Crocker wants to put that together while the rest of the division is figuring it out. We got Ryan Garcia, who's supposed to be figuring out with Mario Barrios. We'll see what ultimately happens with Rolly Romero if he does land that fight with Manny Pacquiao, or maybe he defends it against Shakram Agiasov. We'll see how all that works out. But until then, the next best thing, right? The next best thing on the table definitely would be Lewis Crocker. Fight the big fights, but also make sure it's for a title, right? And now that he's with Turkey and Riyadh, all the fights are big fights, as Turkey's going to be paying him, I'm sure, premium for whatever fights he's in. He doesn't have to worry about chasing down the biggest names in the sport and playing A-side, B-side politics, across the street politics. He can get right to it and run right to the legacy. And it looks like that's what he's going to be doing as well. A whole lot of stuff to talk about. And of course, whatever you guys feel like talking about, the panel will be open. There is the link. Feel free to hit the link and step in. I think we got my guy, CJ Rich, in the building. Let me see if that's CJ Rich. CJ Rich in the building. What's good, family?
Yeah. Nobody better troll with my name. No trolls. But no, it's me. What's going on, Clay? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. How you feeling today?
Hey, as good as I could, right?
Yeah,
right?
Man.
I'm sure you heard he was on Johnny's panel. But we're working it out.
No, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Condolences, man. I do remember hearing about that, man. Condolences to you, man. How's everything coming along with that, though?
Hey, I'm the only one in the position to handle the arrangement, so I'm dealing with that mainly right now. But I'm still punching. In general, I'm still punching. Making sure that I work out every day and stay on my routine as much as I can. So yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, so the main topic is last night's fight. So I haven't been super tapped in with the news lately, obviously, but I did catch last night's fights. Okay, so I want to say like this. Was it not Mendoza, but I forget the dude's name. I'm sorry, but the prospect that he didn't get this guy out of there as soon as he could have. I felt, and I hate to be that guy, right?
Wait, let's land the plane on the fight right now. We talking about one of the earlier
Mendocino. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Mendocino.
Okay, just want to make sure we're on the same page. All right, I got you.
Yeah, my head was somewhere else. Yeah, Mendocino. He should have got dude out of there quicker, in my opinion, because he did have him hurt early, and he didn't turn up as quickly as I thought he would, because it was pretty much a showcase fight. Granted, he got the stoppage in the mid rounds, but yeah, I don't want to be super critical, but that's where I landed on that. Savannah Marshall, that was impressive to me. I know not everyone is a fan of women's boxing.
You're talking about Sky Nicholson, right?
Sky Nicholson.
It's all good. I'm right here with
you.
My
head ain't that, man. You know what I'm talking about. You get it. We're getting there.
I got you, bro. Listen, bro, we ain't worried about it. We just making sure we got you, bro.
Sky Nicholson.
Take your time.
Yes, that was a dominant performance. Pretty much a whitewash, maybe 10-2 at best. Yeah, I mean, women aren't going to get stoppages. You're not going to see that kind of thing. But you love the sweet science. You can appreciate what these ladies are doing.
It seemed like Luna had a hard time really dealing with, the footwork of Luna, because I was calling the fights, and Luna just had a hard time dealing with the southpaw stance that Sky Nicholson was presenting, right? And she was really putting herself in position to where Sky did a good job of moving off to the right, sitting there continually moving off to the right and getting outside of Luna's, basically outside of her left guard, right, outside of her left foot, but never adjusted. Luna never adjusting, just constantly punching over herself,
pressing,
right?
Yeah.
She was trying to press, and Sky would step forward with a straight left, and then try to follow it up with a right. Sky would be all the way already far on her left, and she'd be punching across her body. So it was a master class, but I thought bad preparation on Luna's side of the conversation. It really didn't make the fight as competitive as I think it could have been, right? If she would have just prepared a little bit better. Sky was clearly the
I agree.
Job.
Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off, but no, she wasn't dynamic enough to deal with that. Yeah, Sky was far more skilled. The footwork, that's a great thing you point out. Yeah, that was key, right? Stepping outside, the outside foot when you get a southpaw or orthodox. Absolutely. Right. So shout out to her. Bounce back. What else? I'll jump to the main. I can't. What was the co-main? Oh, my boy. I'm from Cali, right? I'm from the Bay. So my boy from Stockton. Yeah, my boy from Stockton let me down, but it's all good. Sometimes those hometown fights, sometimes it's too much pressure, or sometimes you can get too comfortable. You're going home to mama's cooking, and the other dude is, really training like that. So I don't know what it was, but I expected him to perform better than that. Shout out Flores, but that was a cool fight. Obviously, he wasn't in it from the beginning. He got dominated, in my opinion, but or it was decisive. I won't say dominated. It was definitely decisive, though. But fast forward to the main event, what I'm trying to get to. Pacheco. Okay. So I've heard a lot of opinions on both sides. Right. A lot of criticism that he should have been more. He should have done more. He got dropped, all these things. I feel like whatever narrative you had going into that fight, if you weren't impressed with him already, you weren't going to be impressed. But me, I think he stood up against a sturdy fighter. Obviously, he had some physical advantage, the reach and the height. But no, he was disciplined. And what I was most impressed by, I'll say this, is that after he got dropped, he didn't like let his ego get in the way and say, "Oh, I got to get my get back." He stuck to his game plan, did what was working for him the whole fight, and he took it home clearly. So a great performance. I had it like 8-4, 9-3, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my initial take. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. I think there was obviously a litmus test for Diego Pacheco. For me, when I saw the fight get put together, first thing I thought about was the fact that his team didn't seem, in my opinion, to think that he was ready for a Christian and Billy fight, right? And this fight right here was going to kind of like shed some light as to whether or not that was good discernment by his team to kind of like give him more time, or whether or not, you know, they were holding him back a little bit. We know that, you know, he split up with Jose Benavidez Sr. He brought in a new trainer on this fight, went back to, I guess, his old trainers, maybe his original trainers that he started off with. And so we were going to see exactly how that team, it seemed like the whole team was in the crosshairs of some scrutiny last night, and they came together okay. Kevin Lele Sajo was a very unique kind of fighter. You got those fighters to where they're just coming forward all the time, a lot of pressure, a lot of power. You saw what Abdullah Mason had to deal with Sam Noakes. We saw what Lamont Roach had to deal with Isak Cruz. These fighters, you know, Subriel Matias does this to a lot of fighters as well. They come with that pressure, and if you can't get that respect, if you can't discourage them early, right, on what they're trying to do, it becomes a very long night. And I think that's what we saw with Diego Pacheco, right? Diego Pacheco trying to stay behind that jab, right, and maintain the distance, but you've got this shorter fighter who's bobbing and weaving and slipping underneath his punches like Mike Tyson, and the consequences on the other side of that is a whole lot of work on the inside. And then you're trying to tie him up a little bit, which I thought was smart. Tie this guy up. Don't get into a firefight with this guy. But he's so active on the inside, it gets out of hand a little bit. And we saw Diego Pacheco face a lot of adversity last night. But do we give him do we recognize his grit and say that although it was a messy looking fight, you know, just a real fight, right? Like hardly any boxing happening, you know what I'm saying? In that fight, just a real fight. Does Diego Pacheco pass the litmus test for you? Is he ready for the big show, for the big fights at 168? Or from what you saw, did he need a lot more work? Because now they're talking about him and Hamza Shiraz potentially fighting, and you know, that's about as big as you can get as far as outside of Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in the super middleweight division, right?
Okay, let me speak on that. No, no. I'm not. I wouldn't say he's ready for Hamza Shiraz. My ideal opponent for him is Lester Martinez. I think that's about the level that would make him step up and improve. But no, don't rush him. You said the litmus test, right? So if you would have got a mid-round stoppage against a guy that relentless, then I would say maybe. But since it took it to the cards and he did get dropped, I'm taking everything into context, right? Like the big picture. So I would say no, not right now. But yeah, Lester Martinez would be a great matchup. But I do recognize his grit for getting up off the canvas. You know, it's more or less a flash knockdown. But no, he got up. He stuck, like I said, stuck to his game plan. So yeah, Martinez is about his level. But no, don't feed him to Hamza. He's still young. Had a lot of room to grow. You know, really get sturdy behind his tools. Maybe develop that power. Now, I want to speak on what you said, because Sajo was just charging in like relentless, like a bull. Like he didn't care about his power. Like he was getting hit, right? But he didn't care. He was like, I'm going to put myself in position to hit what because the reach advantage, to do what I need to do to land this shot. That's what he was trying to do. I don't agree with the way he did it. Like for context, my favorite fighter ever is Tyson, right? So a shorter fighter, you know, compared to his weight. And found a way to get inside skillfully. He wasn't skillful. He was just taking shots on his way in and clenching. That's what I disagree with Sajo. He was just over clenching. He was initiating the clinch. You'd expect a taller fighter to initiate that to, smother your shots. But
right.
Yeah. But no, man, Sajo was clenching way too much. So you got to say it. I wouldn't say mid-range and close, but not in the clinch. You can't get a lot of leverage behind your punches in there. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I mean, Sajo was able to stay real active inside that close range and inside that clinching. Because if you really paid attention, shout out to the referee who's doing a great job refereeing and allowing the work to happen on the inside. Although Diego Pacheco was trying to tie up Sajo, I think Sajo had mastered, has really mastered the ability to work inside that clinch. Sometimes I think he was smothering some of the work, but also there was a lot of effective body punching, and he was able to get off a lot of hooks and a lot of sneaky shots in there that Diego Pacheco didn't see coming because of how close they were. And also, obviously, with Diego Pacheco with those long arms, you're smothering what Diego Pacheco got going on. He needs you comfortably to be somewhere towards the outside so he can extend. His power is at the extension at the end of his punches. I thought Sajo had a decent game plan. Fought about as good as a fight as he could. When you think about the fact that he's coming in there already, 5'9", I think he is, something like that, 5'10",
5'8".
Okay, 5'8".
Oh no, 5'8". Yeah.
So he's really short, so he can't play that mid-range game because that's really going to give Diego Pacheco the time and the advantage of the leverage of being able to extend on those punches. He can step back real quick and turn that distance into a range real quick where Sajo is going to have to really jump, sacrifice, take bigger risk, to close that void and make something happen. He's just going to be an awkward, hard fight for anybody, in my opinion, he gets in the ring with. And to be honest with you, this is going to be very difficult for him to get another big opportunity. It's funny you brought up Lester Martinez fighting against Diego Pacheco. For me, it felt like the best fight for Sajo would be Lester Martinez next. You know what I'm saying? That would be a great looking fight. You know what I mean? As far as Diego going in there with Hamza, that's an uphill battle for Diego Pacheco, but also Diego Pacheco brings a lot of intangibles. I think Hamza's also gonna have to show and prove a little bit, because I think there's an argument there to say that Diego Pacheco is the acclimated 168-pound fighter, right? He's a career guy who's been there, kind of taking his time, making his way up the ranks. He's fought the Trevor McCumbeys, he's fought the Steve Nelsons. You know what I'm saying? He's fought those fights. Hamza Shiraz had a great performance, obviously, against Edgar Berlanga, but do we consider Edgar Berlanga as one of those? Was he really one of the big dudes at 168? I mean, although the performance was great, Edgar Berlanga, how did you rate him in general as a 168-pound fighter?
Berlanga, I never respected Berlanga. He got his fame off of doing the job to Canelo, just surviving, and threw a parade about it. No, that's not it, champ. Not my book. I'm old school. Y'all a little older than me, but I'm 41. So yeah, I came up in the 80s, and no, that's not how we did it. No. So I don't rate it that. He did what he was supposed to do, right? If you're an elite fighter, you take out a Berlanga like that, and it was very impressive. So I'm not taking anything from him, but Pacheco, I'm going to reiterate, Pacheco and Shiraz just on different tiers right now. But someone was saying, oh, well, that would negate the height, right? Because I think Shiraz is about the same height as Pacheco. So that would be a great test, but I don't think he would pass it. I'm sorry, what was that?
I think Diego's a little taller, to be honest.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that, because I've been thinking about that fight, and for me, it's like, okay, Hamza is just really fundamentally sound, but Diego Pacheco's always been, in my opinion, rated as a fundamentally sound fighter. And I think maybe sometimes we might be looking at the way he performed against this wild fighter in Kevin Sajo, and maybe he looked a little regular against a Steve Nelson a little bit, you know what I mean? Maybe, and with the Trevor McCumbee fight, I didn't think he looked bad in that fight at all. I do think he chose to box, and people were kind of used to him going in for the kill, and he really looked like he became poised and got those rounds in. And I think people might have looked at that as a little bit of downgrading or a little bit of digression in his energy. Styles make fights, though, and I think stylistically speaking, when you look at these guys in front of each other in the whole entire super middleweight division, I wonder if there's an argument there as to whether or not this is potentially the best fight outside of Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez that could be made in the super middleweight division between a Diego Pacheco and a Hamza Shiraz. I don't know. I want to get Ray Davis involved in the conversation. Salute to my co-host. What's good, Ray? How you feeling?
What up? Listen, man, I still missed the fight. I caught some parts, including the knockdown, but I was at work, obviously, when the fight was going on, and yeah, man. Pacheco is who I thought he was.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a mediocre thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think I thought he was overhyped in a lot of ways, but I thought I think he has the kitchen utensils to get the job done. You know what I mean? And I think when it comes to him fighting somebody like Sajo last night, in my opinion, I thought that fight was a lot closer than what they gave it. And I don't even know if he won the fight. I mean, I think he put on a show a little bit. I didn't see, you know what I mean?
No, it was super close. You're right.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't really see a distance for him to get those points back. And I think maybe the 10th round, he kind of put on a little bit. But he has a ability, and he fights small. And I think that's what we're talking about here. He gets into the situations where he starts fighting small. He did it with Steve Nelson. He did it with Sajo. He fought that fight with
McCumbee,
right? But he was able to use the check hooks.
Yeah,
he was able to use the check hooks inside and then back out with the jab.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get to do none of that with the guys that are faster, more wild, and throwing the hooks up and the overhands. He just literally looked like a fish out of water. Like I said, he has the kitchen utensils, but he's not using it. He's using a freaking butter knife to try to cut a freaking 3-inch steak. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, bro. Like, you know what to do. You've been doing this for years, and you walked away from your team. You look different. You look worse to me than what you did. I'll be honest with you. I think he looked a lot worse. He could have made this fight a lot easier. I think people get intimidated by either opponents or whatever. You know, well, we all get butterflies, but I think he got intimidated in this fight, and especially after the knockdown. He seemed to be poised, but I don't know what was going on through his head. So, like I said, I missed the first half of the fight, and I missed like the 11th, and I missed the last round. But I did go back and watch the last round completely. Just doesn't look like the guy that I thought he was. That's all. I'll be honest with you.
I thought you said he looked like the guy you thought he was.
No, I said he is the guy. I said he is the guy I thought he was. I said he didn't look like the guy. He didn't look like the guy I thought he was. Like,
I think the Kevin Lele Sajo, I argue, will in his next 2 to 3 fights make the performance with Diego Pacheco and make Diego Pacheco's performance, I think, age closer to wine rather than milk.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you're going to find that a lot of people are just going to have a difficult time with this dude, because I think there's something about somebody. If you cannot get that respect from Kevin Sajo, if you can't get that a jab on him or a shot on him to discourage him from just pressing the way he was pressing Diego Pacheco last night, I don't care who it is. I think he gives problems to everybody. So, so that being said, me personally, I give Diego Pacheco a little bit of more grace on this particular fight. I think he showed grit, obviously, like you said. When he got knocked down, he got up with some poise. He knew what to do. He didn't get nervous. He didn't allow that to distract him from the big picture. And I do think he won the championship rounds. I do think the rounds that mattered, the important rounds that mattered, he showed that he could, because Diego Pacheco and Kevin Sajo were on a very high pace last night. Conditioning wise, he showed where that conditioning was at. This guy was pressing all night long, man. Sajo's got an engine for sure.
It's a mosquito, bro.
Yeah, no quitting, right?
Your mic went out.
Oh.
Your mic.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Clay.
Yeah, your mic went out.
My mic is out.
I do want to piggyback.
Back.
Real quick, I want to piggyback on what you just said, though. Yeah, I actually give Pacheco more credit than not, because I saw the round after he got knocked out, he was weak in the knees. You know what I mean? He was SWV with it. So he survived that. He got his win back. So yeah, I give him credit for the heart. I like
my mic did disconnect for a second there. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, that 10th round.
No, I got mine off. Go ahead.
No, we're good. We're good. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't even mean to intro. Just letting you know I fixed my mic. So I'm good.
Well, I was just saying he got weak. He was like his wobbly legs in the round after he got knocked out. So I give him credit for regaining his composure. Not only to stick to the game plan, but he looked exhausted really right after that. So yeah, he got it. Yeah. So I just want to emphasize everything you were saying and make a point on that.
And I agree with everything you guys both said. I think this will listen. You gotta critique the criticism, and you gotta applaud the heroism. You know what I mean? And I agree with both of those. Like those statements. Like, I don't think Pacheco gave up at all. I just think he just came into there with a whole different, as we would say, bag of tricks, right? He didn't come in there like we used to see him. Like we seen him fight McCumbee, who I thought McCumbee would be this fight for him, but he seemed to be a lot faster than McCumbee, or McCumbee was a lot slower. Now he comes in there with a guy that's moving like a tank, and I don't. Let's say bulldozer, because I don't want to confuse people. Moving like a bulldozer. You know what I mean? And as Clay mentioned, Mike Tyson-ish, and you got to deal with that. So, it's a lot of opening doors that he had to do, in the great words of I forget his name, Mike Tyson trainer. But anyway,
Customato.
You talking about Teddy? Or you talking about
Teddy Atlas?
Rooney?
Atlas. No, Teddy
Atlas.
I was all over. My bad. He goes, there's a lot of doors that Diego Pacheco had to open, and I think he was afraid to open those doors. On a lot of those points. And like I said, if he did open them, instead of him having a flashlight and a bat, he had a pillow and a damn phone light. You know what I mean? Like okay, I don't see nothing there. Let's close this door back up. And I think it's growth at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I like the Lester Martinez move. That would, and it doesn't even have to be Lester Martinez. I think in Billy shows why he stayed away from a guy like him, Billy, when that fight could have been happening, because, it's trouble when you got a guy that has a high motor and wild punches that can just come in and hit you at will and ain't really backing down from stuff that you're throwing forward. It's troublesome. Like I said, like a mosquito at a damn picnic. It's just annoying. And you just want to get through the night. And I think he figured that night was longer than what he wanted and anticipated it to be. And I think that's where it really comes down to at the end of the night. For Diego Pacheco.
Yeah. I'm a little more optimistic than you guys. I'm not going to lie, a little bit more optimistic. I mean, like I said, without a doubt, there was some adversity in that ring last night. I mean, he got knocked down, right? I mean, at the end of the day, he got clipped, he got knocked down. So a lot of adversity in the fight, but man, I don't know, man. I just think I gave Kevin Lele Sajo a lot more credit.
He gets credit.
You know what I mean? I think just, like I said, let's see what Kevin Lele Sajo does moving forward from here. I think he's gonna be hard to beat that guy. I think he's a awkward look for anybody. And I think I give Diego Pacheco the grace and the benefit of the doubt in this one to say that this fight was just a unique fight. And I think when it all came down to it, those championship rounds, the way I was able to see him kind of regroup, recalibrate and let his hands go and actually hurt Sajo in those championship rounds. Like, really, I thought he was gonna put him down. You know what I mean? In those championship rounds.
Oh, yes. I had the same feeling.
Right. Like, he started to finally get his rhythm, and he started to get that timing down. He was landing some significant shots and showed he had power, right? Because he was able to finally hurt him late in the match too, because usually that's when you fade away, right? It looks like he was able to hit that second gear, do some things. I am very interested in seeing him fight a Hamza Shiraz. I agree with both you guys, though, as far as I think CJ was saying it, but I'm sure Ray Davis would co-sign it, that Hamza Shiraz is probably one of the highest level dancing partners you can have at 168. And maybe Diego Pacheco is not quite ready. Who knows, right? But you don't know until you know, right? Until you get in there. I think physically, he does kind of give Hamza Shiraz an opportunity to check some boxes as well, being that Hamza Shiraz normally is coming in the ring, the taller guy, having the reach advantage. He's that guy who brings that to the table, kind of a Sebastian Fundor-ish type of energy that he brings in there. And I think Diego Pacheco obviously is going to take that off the table, right? And he's going to make the fight a little bit more even. I think Diego Pacheco, we have to acknowledge that he was in there sparring over 200 plus rounds with David Benavidez, right? So he's got some experience. He's had some opportunities to really be a sparring partner and on the same team as potentially the future face of American boxing or future Mexican superstar in David Benavidez. So I think that's going to translate well as well. Well, you know what I mean? As far as, I don't know who Hamza's been sparring. That's a convenient thing to have somebody as tall, as skilled, as determined as a David Benavidez to spar with over 200 plus rounds, there's a chance that a Diego Pacheco could just have this guy's, you know what I mean, could just have this guy's card, right? Like, he's just like, I don't care what you think I am with everybody else, but once you don't have that height, once you don't have that reach, boom. You know what I mean? It makes the biggest difference. So I am interested in the fight. I think I favor Hamza Shiraz, but I think that fight right there is a great fight that can get put together. Coach Eddie, what's good with you, brother?
Hey, what's good, brother? Salute, Clay. Salute, Ray. How y'all been?
Hey, what up,
Man, we've been good a long time no see, man. How's everything going with you, man?
Man, I've been good, brother. I can't complain, man. Just out here working, try to get it together, man.
Yes, sir.
I see y'all touching on the Pacheco fight, man. To me, man, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't see nothing special, man. To me, the fight was almost abysmal. His footwork is horrible. I mean, his inside game is absentee. He is. I see why they keep him away from certain people. And Andrade will cook him. That dude right there he's horrible. I mean, I don't say he's horrible. He is not what they say he is.
He's green.
Just the feet are all over the place. If they broke out the clinch counter on that fight, how they did Devin Haney, come on, man. I feel like it was well over 100 clinches. In the Brian Norman Devin Haney fight is like 75. It had to be at least 150 clinches. Fight was horrible, man. Diego Corrales cannot fight on the inside. I'm sorry, I said Diego Corrales. Forgive me, Diego Corrales. I don't want to insult you like that.
Yeah,
but Pacheco cannot fight on the inside. The holding, the grabbing, it was atrocious, man. I mean, getting hit with these crazy overhand rights and this. The kid had a lot of work to do, man. Hamza Shiraz, I think he flushes him down the toilet, man. I wouldn't give him much chance. I think freaking Edgar Berlanga may beat that dude, man.
Nah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, Coach, you don't
Coach
give
Eddie. I want to say real quick. I don't think we've been on the panel before. Just salute to you. I want to acknowledge. I like your expertise. Right. I'm just a fan. So shout out to you. I enjoy your perspective. I'm always in the chat if I'm not on the panel.
No doubt. Coach, do you give any grace to do you give any credit and any grace for the styles make fight situation as far as Kevin Lele Sajo being that pressure, you know, that engine that won't stop? I mean, just the way he fights stylistically, do you believe that he'll give a lot of people issues? I mean, he did walk into this fight undefeated, right? I mean, this guy kind of showed up for himself, right? No? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think to me, it was more when I seen the clinching came almost immediate. Like that was part of the game plan.
That was part of the game plan because I think they did that on purpose. I think that was the way that they didn't want to get inside. Like it had to be part of the game plan. If this guy gets inside and gets past your jab, time up. Don't even, you know what I mean, try to work with him in there. He has the advantage in there.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. That's a problem to me if that's a part of your game plan. I mean, you got 6 inches on this guy, you know, great reach. You got supposed to have good hand speed, good punch combination, and your first instinct is to grab this dude and then move your head from side to side like a windshield wiper, and your feet are all over. Your feet are all over the place. You can't even punch. You have no intentions of punching when you grab this guy. I mean, it just, I don't know. It just didn't make it for a good fight. And like I said, if that would have been Devin Haney or something, they would have just toasted him, because just to grab me, the unstoppable clinching, it was just like, it was hard to watch, man. I'm like, what? Why are you clinching this guy so much, man? I mean, so you know, he's a kind of limited fighter. You can see that he's limited. What's the guy's name? Sajo. He's kind of limited fighter. So I just don't understand the praise of this guy, man. I mean, I'm not trying to down the guy, but I'm just being honest. I don't think that he's all there. I mean, I think he would probably have a difficult time with a lot of people. Like, you put him in there with Christian Mbili, I think Christian Mbili steamrolls this guy, man. Or Lester Martinez, I think he steamrolls him. He can't. He couldn't do that with a Christian Mbili. Just tie this guy up and try to wait him out. Yeah, Pacheco, to me, it's like he's fighting like he's almost been knocked out. If that makes sense, he's fighting like he's been knocked out before. And it hasn't happened. So I'm like, why are you fighting like this? You have no reason to fight like this. You fighting like AJ was when he got knocked out by Ruiz, like you're trying to rebuild yourself or something. You're supposed to be trying to make a statement, and that was not a statement last night. You heard Eddie Hearn said it's time to roll the dice, which means that Eddie Hearn is not confident. Talking about rolling dice when he wants to gamble with him.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I spoke towards that a little bit as well. Just, the fact that we understand that as a team, I'm not going to say Diego Pacheco did it by himself, but as a team, they kind of like came to an understanding that they either weren't ready for Christian and Billy, or at least weren't very interested in fighting him when they had an opportunity to fight him. And when you see the performance that happened last night, immediately what I was thinking about going into the fight was, let's see what the whole entire not fighting Christian and Billy thing was about, right? And you did kind of shed some light on that and some perspective on that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not quite all the way there where you guys are as far as making a final decision on who this kid is. I think he's shown me a lot of glimpse of he's shown me a lot of potential in past fights. And I feel like this Kevin Lele Sajo fight was I just think it's one of those opponents, man, just awkward. And like, I think, depending on who he fights next in the next couple of fights, I think that'll put some perspective on really what Diego Pacheco was in the ring with, and taking into consideration what he's going to do to his next couple of opponents. Maybe we'll look back and be like, you know what? Pacheco had to figure that out.
What I would like to say.
Hey, Clay, can I say something real quick?
Wait, let Ray.
Go ahead, bro.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is like his second. This is his second layup. Stone Cold. I keep coming. Steve Nelson.
Stone Cold's good too. I think he likes that.
Yeah, Steve Nelson was a layup. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not trying to downgrade, Steve Nelson, but he was a layup. That was supposed to be a showcase fight. He's supposed to stop him. I'm gonna tell you. I think Jake Paul will probably beat Steve Nelson. I'm being honest. They're about on the same level.
Nah,
dead serious. I promise you, bro. Steve Nelson picked up boxing very late. You can tell that he picked it up late.
Jake is crazy. That's diabolical. Jake.
No, I'm being serious, bro. He picked up. You can tell he picked up the sport late. The man's close to 40 years old. That was a layup. The only reason he been on them platforms because of Bud.
Okay.
Jake Paul and Steve Nelson are probably on similar levels. I promise you they are. I promise you. That would be a very competitive fight if they fought each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he's supposed to get rid of him.
I would hope not.
But I'm just, I promise you, they're on similar levels, man. I'm dead serious, man. He's supposed to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be a layup last night, and it didn't happen.
You sure?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the knockout, but that was the showcase, man.
Okay,
bro, it's supposed to be the showcase. It didn't happen.
I'm gonna move the needle a little bit. That's actually why I was about to say. I think we're taking I see what Clay's saying. Like, we're not giving the credit where credit's due on certain points of that fight. I'm not going to take away from what Sajo did. I mean, we got to look at the division in itself. The division in itself from 160 pretty much up, even 154 it starts. A lot of these guys are in the pocket, back and forth fighters. And when you got guys that are literally going to be in your face, and you're not a smaller guy that can move in the ring, and you're able to, go blow for blow with a guy, pause, because I know freaking ready for that button. And you're able to hold on, what the hell is this? Hold on a second. Stupid ads on Box Rec. When you're able to channel certain things, and you're a taller fighter, and you're not in the pocket with these guys, you don't have to. Because remember, he's tall. You don't have the. I don't think he has the size or the mass. Let's use the word mass to determine how he would fit in a bruiser type fight. Because we've seen him in those fights. Like I said, the so-called Stone Cold, I'll take that. And the McCumbie fight, he was able to dictate to them. Now I think speed matters. Speed and power is a problem for him. I think in Billy, wild speed and power. Take a shot, keep coming forward. I think those are the guys that give him trouble. And I think this was a litmus test, as Clay is saying, for an Billy, for Lester Martinez, to see how he moves forward going in the division. Because when you see somebody like that, that's 6'4" in a division where most of the people are 6'3", rather, but most of the people in the division being 5'5", anywhere from 5'9" to 6 foot. And those guys are legitimately smaller than you, and you got to go in there and punch down on these guys, and these guys are looking to get inside. Perfect example: if we bring Fedor into the picture, his kryptonite was a guy that stayed inside and swung overhand rights, whether it be Tim Zua in the first fight or Brian Mendoza who knocked him out. These things are kryptonite to these taller fighters when they try to fight inside the pocket. And you got guys that'll bull rush you. That's a really good test for him. I think this puts him into what he needs to work on to get ready for an Billy or a Lester Martinez. I think this shows how the division is going to be moving in most cases. If you don't have the aptitude to really box from the outside and have good footwork, as you're saying, Coach, because he did have terrible footwork. That was actually one of the things I wanted to point out. I don't know what happened. This guy just he's like,
yeah, the footwork was bad. The footwork was bad.
Yeah, the base is very wide. Like, I don't understand why he's such a tall guy. You need better balance, and you can't really get a lot off your punches, and especially when you're shrinking yourself down. It kind of hurts you a little bit. So it's a lot of questions to be answered, to say the least. I'm not going to take away his win. He won the fight. I'm not going to take away his opponent's ability to be who he was, an undefeated fighter at 24-0. I'm not going to do none of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push forward and say, like, look, Sajo came to bring it, and there was some adversity in that fight, and it was overcame. So I respect it.
Yeah, I think the fight could have either went to a draw, or I would have given it to Diego. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't give it to Kevin Sajo. I think it was a home field advantage for Diego Pacheco, and I do feel like Diego did bag those championship rounds. I think they made a difference. I felt going into the 12th round, it was very important for either one of those guys. I felt like whoever won that round was going to win the fight. And like I said, I thought Diego won that round. But let me ask you guys a question here. Let's look at the top upper echelon of 168 right now. You got Jaime Munguia, you got Jamal Charlo, you got Hamza Shiraz, Edgar Berlanga still in the conversation, of course. Christian Mbili. We got Osley too, I think, right? Osley Iglesias.
Yeah.
Who's in there shaking it up, and I'll give a runner-up for Caleb Plant, who had a real bad night against Armando Resendez, and I'll put Armando Resendez at the same time in the conversation because of the way he performed against Caleb Plant. With those couple of fighters I mentioned there, you don't think Diego Pacheco, you know what I'm saying, makes a good run and becomes a champion at 168?
Mention again, besides Hamza Shiraz and Caleb Plant.
Say it one more time.
Mention the other two besides Hamza Shiraz and Caleb Plant.
Edgar Berlanga and Armando Resendez.
And you said Munguia, right?
Yeah, Jaime Munguia, Jamal Charlo.
Munguia, he beats. Mm-hmm. Edgar, a challenge, but he might win that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Shiraz, I think, is too much of a boxer, and they're close in size. And I think he's more cerebral. Caleb Plant can surprise you. I think he's a little over the hill in the boxing game. I think he needs to move up to 175. I think his days are numbered at 168, but he can surprise you. He can surprise you and make a nice fight with Diego Pacheco and possibly win. And as far as Lester Martinez, you said?
Yeah, you could put Lester Martinez in this, but I said Munguia, Charlo, Shiraz, Berlanga, and Billy.
Charlo, he's cooked.
Right. Osley and Armando Resendez.
Don't even put him on a barbecue. Just throw him in the volcano and grab him later.
Well, I don't want you to consider don't only consider if he can beat him. Also, let's keep in mind that Jamal Charlo is not active, right? So he may not be a factor or in his way, really, because the bigger question is, can he be a champion at 168? I mean, listen, he's a 6'4" guy, man, with a good jab. The footwork was I don't know the footwork, but like once again, a lot of that I'm giving a lot of respect to Kevin. I am. I'm really giving Kevin Sajo a lot of respect in what he brought to the table, man. I want to see what Kevin Sajo looks like in his next coming up fights to really see if Diego Pacheco is really that bad, or was it just really a difficult puzzle to solve to have somebody coming at you like that.
But Clay, that's what I'm saying. He did the same thing against Steve Nelson. This is the pattern right here. And now you also have to listen to Eddie Hearn. Listen to Eddie Hearn about who he called out and who he didn't call out. It's a one guy that everybody never mentions their name. He'd be a great scout to have on your resume. He has one loss. He's a former champion, but he's not cooked enough for them to call his name out. And that's Andrade. That's
high risk, low reward, right? Like that.
That's what I'm saying. And let me tell you, Pacheco's already ducked Andrade several times. Eddie Hearn is not putting him nowhere near him with that horrible footwork that he has. Andrade would spin him around like a top and clip him and knock him smooth out. And that's the problem of Andrade. They act like this man don't even exist. Wait a minute. Last time I checked, up and coming fighters are always looking for ex-champions to put on a resume. That's last time I checked.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, but I do think that Diego Pacheco is somewhere different right now. I think he's gotten himself to, he's invited to the party, and I think fighting. Yeah,
you don't want to crap out. You don't want to crap out. You don't want to roll the dice on Andrade and then crack out and then crap out. I understand.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I'm already invited to the party. So unless you're coming into the party, have you been invited? If not, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not going to hang out with you in the parking lot when I can just go into the party. Whether you think I deserve to be there or I'm amongst the elite that's inside of the party, I'm going in and I'm going to roll my dice, like Eddie Hearn said, in there and see what I can make happen.
So you saying he driving? I know. You say he's driving into the party with a Fiero or Ferraris?
Well, what I'm saying is you got that invite to come into a party where only the most elite get invited.
Yeah, you got a Fiero, right?
Door. No, you're at the door. You're at the door of the party, and the security's like, are you coming in or not? And you got this guy, you got some smoke out in the parking lot, and really that's some real smoke. But it's like, yo, I'm not trying to prove myself at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ticket, go get me a table, and see if I can mingle and make some connections in there and grow my brand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to roll the dice and see what I can do. I'm not going to pass on a Hamza. I'm not going to pass up on a Hamza Shiraz or Charlo or Jaime Munguia. I'm not.
You better pass on Charlo.
None of those. I mean, listen, you do what you got to do because especially if the pay is correct, you roll the dice like Eddie said. Salute to BVO Sports TV in the building. What's good, family?
What's going on, man? That's what I learned from my brother Ray Davis. Bring your own dice.
Yeah. Bring your own dice. But some games that's not how it works. Some games you got to use the house dice, bro. They don't let you bring your own dice. You put them things back in your pocket. We got dice right here, bro. You
got to be like Adrian Bronner, man. You got to have a loaded dice, man. We here to win.
Exactly, right? That's what you talk about something like that. Nah, bro. We got the house dice, man. You roll these, motherfuckers. You roll these. What's good with you, King?
Oh, what's going on, man? Good to be on with y'all brothers, man. I just salute my brother, Coach. Hey, that's my guy right there.
For sure.
I'll say this.
Don't think we forgot. I ain't talked to Coach Eddie since the Brian Norman, Devin Haney fight. I definitely need to figure out how you're feeling, what went wrong, how'd you assess the fight, all the above, Coach Eddie. But BVO Sports, please. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Hey, you know the funny thing, that's why I love Clay, man. He like Montel Williams. He knew that was an overmatched fight. He's talking about Montel. I want to know how you feel.
I just want to make me sick, man. Listen, Coach Eddie, I respect Coach Eddie's takes. His he got an eye for the sport, and I'm definitely interested.
You cold-blooded, Clay. You a cold-blooded dude, man.
Georgia native, you know what I'm saying?
You a cold-blooded dude, man. Clay is cold-blooded. Me sit up there with that smile, man, laughing at you. You gotta watch Clay, man.
I don't know when I'm gonna see Coach again, man. I don't know when I'm gonna see him again, man.
Oh, wow, you trying to chase him off?
Oh, man, you saw you do, man. I don't know when I'm gonna see him again.
You gotta strike when the kettle's hot, man. You know what I mean?
BVO, you funny, bro.
Hey, you gotta watch Clay. You know, Clay a politician part-time. You ain't know that. You gotta watch old Clay, man. He put the glasses on there. He get to talking like Kevin Freeman from the news. You gotta watch him, man. You can't let him do that.
Al Roker, bro.
I want to get the takes, man. I want the best take. Shout out to the boxing take. You know what I'm saying? We doing.
But Diego Pacheco, he looked awful, man.
Yeah, I see people are really critical of him.
And the only reason he looked awful is we seen that guy was there to get beat dead. I mean, he had that extra high guard, and you just kind of seen Pacheco just smothering him, no angles, no jab. I think he was just a little excited, to be totally honest. I think he was with some
home
nerves
field
in the
game.
ring, and that's what we seen because I think he was like not at home, but real close to home. I think he's from South Central, so he was real close to home in LA. So I mean, he looked nervous, and I'm gonna be honest. The last time we seen him was against Stone Cold. That's Terrence Crawford's punching bag. So maybe he looked incredible versus that dude. But I think Pacheco got time to grow. I just know he better stay away from Mbili or Martinez. They're gonna beat him to death. But the thing that we missing in boxing is fighter development. I think we do too much of it. In the heavyweight division, we let guys develop. Like, look at Daniel, man. Daniel done got his head beat in twice. And then 3 times now. And now if he can beat Caballero or Worley, he right back in the race. That's the boxing that me and you are used to, traditional boxing where you get your ass kicked and you learn. I think that's all Diego Pacheco needs. He need to get his ass kicked one time, or maybe not. Maybe he might pull out another level, but he just looked bad last night, and that's okay. I mean, we seen Sugar Ray Leonard look bad versus Durant. So I mean, the baby was crying. He was looking distraught. But what'd he do? He came back, fought the right fight.
Right? That's a great example. The Sugar Ray Leonard, the Roberto Duran fight is just like, yo, bro, if you don't fight those guys exactly the right way, they can make you look bad, man.
He made Sugar Ray Leonard look average. If you look at that fight on playback, he looked very average in that fight. Or think about how the Marvelous one went against Tommy Hearns. He made Tommy Hearns look like nothing. He's like, is that the dude that gets Sugar Ray Leonard all these problems? He just straight attacked him and went to it. And I think what we missing, and I'm working on this myself, man. I'm trying to get back to the Jim Lampley days of just calling what we see. And what we see is a guy who still got time to grow. That's all I'll say with Diego Pacheco. I ain't gonna throw him away. He got some work to do, and I think in the next 5-6 fights, we're gonna see some real improvements, man. Because look at David Benavidez. I hate David Benavidez, but every time I see this Mexican, man, this nigga getting stronger, faster, feet look great. It's fighter development, man. I'm telling you, these guys are still pups when we see them, man. Nobody comes out the womb like Floyd. We can't look at monsters like Floyd and say, oh, this is how it should be. No. He one in a million. You know what I mean? So I just kind of look at it that way. My bad for being long-winded, though.
Nah, man, take your time. Do your thing, man. Hey, coach.
Sir, I'm ready. I'm ready to answer all questions, man.
I just want your assessment, man. What you thought went wrong? What need to be improved? Just overall. Well, let's start off going into the fight. Just wanted to, you were going for Brian Norman, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Right. And by the way, just to let you know, I was going for Brian Norman as well. I thought Brian Norman was going to be able to do it. So I'm right here in the same boat with you. But I know you got a good eye, and going into the fight, you expected some things, and I'm wondering what ended up happening as you were watching the fight develop. What were you seeing?
I think first of all, I want to say, and I felt like this was going to happen before it even happened. Brian Norman Sr. was on the internet entirely too much. He let Bill he got into a back and forth with Bill. He was trying to win the media battle. And he wasn't focusing. It's hard to divide. You can't divide your attention. Your fighter needs your undivided attention. Every time I seen Norman Sr., he was on Mill City 2-3 hours, arguing with fans, arguing with, debating, talking about his son, giving the game plan, exposing everything, giving up all the goods, saying what Devin does well, what Devin does good, what he don't do well, and there's nothing that he can do. Came in with just a total disregard, total arrogance, just like it was a foregone conclusion that the knockout was imminent. Now, this is when I know everything was bad. At the fight, when I seen Devin Haney come out, this my honest to God opinion. I seen him when he came out in that robe and how he was bouncing around, and how he was looking. I said he's gonna win. He looked like he was gonna win. If that ever made sense. He looked like he was going to win the fight when he came to the ring. Brian Norman Jr., when he came out, he looked tense. He looked like he's a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not going to say nervous, but he looked kind of like he had a deer in the headlight type of look in his face momentarily. Then he kind of got it back together. What I was surprised was, first of all, is that I think a lot of people were banking on fighting a diminished Devin Haney. I think that's why the odds were swung, so close and almost had an even fight because they were basically saying that Devin Haney is diminished. He's gun shy. We know all the talking points. He's chinny. He's scared. He's going to run. Everything that we heard over the past 3-4 months.
Right.
And I may even echo some of those sentiments. When he came out, I think Brian Norman showed his hand too early. That first round, he pretty much showed Devin had everything in that first round. And Devin said, "Oh, I got him." And he set him up and landed that nice left hook on him. And that changed the whole trajectory of the fight right there, because that's what they did not bank on right there, was Devin Haney having punching power like that. And hurting him. He hurt Brian. That wasn't a flash knockdown. He hurt Brian Norman.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. Now, what I was more surprised was Brian Norman's inability to fight on the inside. They said they prepared for it. We prepared for everything. That's what they said. We prepared for the holding. We prepared for the grabbing. We prepared for this. We prepared for running. We prepared for everything. That's what they said. I was surprised his inability to shorten his shots up and stop letting Devin Haney get the underhooks under him. And not only that, he was initiating a lot of clinches himself because he was falling into his shots, smothering his own work. It's almost like he went back to his showbox days. Some of those bad habits that we thought he had fixed and got rid of, they showed their head. They showed their head in that fight. The running in, the smothering, the leaping, and just the inability to free your hands. Keep your hands tight, close to your body where you can work free. Those short shots. He was throwing wide punches, and Devin Haney see that stuff coming a mile away. And he couldn't hit him. He couldn't close the distance on him. And Devin kept him with the jab. If you really look at the fight, when I looked at it, Devin Haney, he was very economical. He landed 11, according to CompuBox, he landed 11 more punches than Brian Norman. Brian Norman threw 130 more punches. So Devin Haney's defense was good. So it was a somewhat competitive fight, but Devin Haney clearly won the fight because it seemed like Brian Norman was a day late and $1 short in everything. He was just two or three steps behind. And that's what kind of took me by surprise. I thought that Norman had a better game plan, especially the way they talked. Like it was a sure thing. Pretty sure a lot of people lost a lot of money on that fight. Hey, but shout out to Devin Haney. He did an excellent game plan. He stuck to it. I like how Devin Haney, he managed the clock very well. He listened to Bill Haney. Bill Haney told him, "Hey, eat the clock up." He outpointed him. He threw combination when he needed to. He stung him when he needed to. He tied him up when he needed to. He just basically controlled the fight. And so now they got to go back to the drawing board, man, and hopefully they'll stay off the internet and just do a little bit more work in the gym and a lot less, getting into it with the social media guys and on the internet. That's what I see.
I love your take on that. I want to say two things, and I'm gonna let Clay cook. Or
no, I ain't cook. We're gonna get back to the card.
Yeah, I just want to say two things. Thank you, Coach Eddie, for admitting those things you thought. I thought everybody was sold into the fact of Brian Norman Jr. working on his footwork and being able to box with Devin Haney. And that's what he said he was going to do. He said he's going to box. He's going to show you he can box. He's going to show the world. All that took him out his initial plan. I don't think it was so much of him fighting the way he fights. I think it was them trying to show something that they weren't, which they had no footwork to keep up with an elite fighter like Devin Haney. That's where I said he was going to lose. And the second thing I wanted to mention is the left hook stunned him, but the broken nose changed the fight. When he punched him with that straight right down the middle and broke that nose, Brian was so in shock. It took him to the 7th round. I think before, when Devin took off a round, before he got his legs back, he literally was, 5th round. Was it 2nd round? So yeah, 5th round. Took him 3 rounds to get his legs back before he even started punching again. That dude was lost. And I think his dad was so succumbed by the moment as well that he was just like, go in there and get him. It was just like, go get your get back. He was doing what a fighter does when he's embarrassed in front of the crowd, right? In the big lights. He tried to get the get back for his son, but he was trying to get the get back for all the shit he was talking to the media and for Bill. And I think that was a big issue because it left no answers to the floor. I'm gonna lay my plane though.
Yeah, man. Devin Haney really put on a master class in that, and it just showed, man. He shook off whatever jacket they were trying to put on him, and he reintroduced himself, right, to the boxing space and said, yeah, y'all, he did the old Roy Jones. Y'all must have forgot, right? And he showed his capabilities, and I think he showed he's at top guy, 147 right now. News coming out right now, I guess, that there's a negotiation going on for Devin Haney to potentially fighting Lewis Crockett for unification. That IBF title will be on the line. And look, Devin Haney doesn't have to deal with any rehydration clauses or anything like that. I don't know if I even need to ask you guys who you guys are favoring, in that fight, but we'll dive into that. We'll dive into that.
Can I add one more thing before we move on? Mm-hmm. I mean, I like what Ray and Coach said. I think the thing we got to remember is that we had a crisis in leadership. Mm-hmm. What we're seeing now is a lot of these trainers are not equipped to give their fighters the right information when it's needed. When if you look at that corner, that's one thing Turkey's doing. People missing that Turkey's doing is Turkey is putting the camera in the corner and that's exposing people. What we see, and let's be honest, Clay is one of those brothers who's not going to be mean and say what he really seen, but that brother said we're going to have to get his ass now. That ain't how you win no fight. This ain't no ballroom fight. You fighting one of the slickest, blackest niggas they got. You got to be ready for him. And for him to kind of just constantly get out coached. I mean, and shout out to Virgil Hunter, because when I heard that Virgil Hunter was the architect for this game plan, if you think about it, we seen Devin doing some Andre Ward type of stuff, making sure he kept him in front of him, making sure his pace. I have never seen Devin's pacing that good, pacing a fight, taking his time. He looked calm, he looked ready, and that's the one thing we always said about young Dev is that he can follow a game plan, and when you can follow the rules. We heard what Senior said. What did he say? Don't even ask the question. Don't even ask the question, because we seen the same thing with Lamont. Who the hell told these boxers to fight niggas who fight? We don't do that. He should have came in there like Marvin Hagler did versus Tommy Hearns and rush his ass and see what we can do. If I get knocked, I get knocked, but I'm going to rush his ass. I'm not about to sit back with this slick nigga and get my head beat off. Because I'm trying to prove a point, and that's the problem in boxing. We got too many guys trying to prove points instead of trying to win the damn fight. Don't worry about what it looks like, and that's the one thing I love about Shakur Sanchez. He might be the most boring man in boxing history, but the motherfucker wins. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. But really, I just gotta say, man. And Senior got mad when I said this, but at the end of the day, that was a horrible coaching job. That was the corner's fault. That wasn't Brian's fault. Brian did everything he was told. He said he came in there as a fighter, fighting a slick black nigga. You don't do that. Then he came in there trying to throw this imaginary jab and footwork we never seen. So if we never seen it your whole life, why would you wait to the biggest stage? We seen it with Randall. We seen it with Buka Chica. These niggas are not going. Devin's not going to come to you to beat his head off. This ain't what's that dude's name? Yoshi from Mario, whatever the guy was, a Japanese nigga who got beat dead. You're not gonna walk right up. You're not gonna walk right up to no dog so you can get bit. That's exactly what happened. He walked up right to the dog and got bit, punched. And just think about this, and I'll land my plane on this. Brian is way too offensive to be a big time fighter. This is not Bush League. This is not the amateurs. You can't just throw. You got to have some sense on where you are in the ring and how to protect yourself. And that's what we see. A lot of these guys with this amateur ass mindset, they keep coming to the big level getting their ass whipped because they don't have any concept on how to actually fight and be a good boxer. That's what I say on that.
That's significant, because I think a lot of fighters today are for the entertainment value of the fan base, because they believe that knockouts win fights. And Coach Eddie will always speak on it. Boxers are always going to beat the knockout artists. Why do they do that? Because they're able to go and engage and take 2 steps back and get back in engagement. A lot of these knockout artists like to swing, punch, and then look at, and as Clay was saying,
their work.
Yeah, they like their, yeah, exactly. They like, oh man, look what I just did, and then they getting caught while they're doing that. You know what I mean? So good point. I like that take.
What did Breadman tell Elvis? That's what I call Caleb Plant. He a pretender.
You got
the waves and the beard.
You got a name for everybody, bro. But go ahead.
Hey, it's a show, Clay. We trying to have some fun, man.
No doubt.
But he's saying, what did Breadman tell Elvis? Man, fuck this crowd. Fuck this crowd. And I think we got to get these guys to understand, if you don't take your craft serious, you're going to be exposed. And that's what happened with Lamar Roach. That's what happened to Brian. And I guarantee it'll happen again. These guys got to get their head out their ass and really come to fight and be prepared. It's more than just running up and down some damn stairs on Instagram.
I agree. Yo, shout out to everybody who's in the building, by the way. Take a moment and hit that like button if you haven't done so, and definitely subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, do that as well. Yeah, man. But so Devin Haney about to head into this fight with Lewis. Well, listen, rumor is they're trying to negotiate this fight with Lewis Crocker for unification. What do you guys think about that fight?
Another easy win.
Yeah,
we seen Lewis Crocker is a fish fry man. That's a dude that fry fish and chips, man. That ain't no fighter. I mean, that's a dude where Devin gonna look incredible again. And then you're gonna have people say, "Oh, Devin, he didn't do this." At the end of the day, man, the only person that probably would have beat Devin at 47 was Boots. And with no Boots, and I think Rolly, because I think about people not giving Solis a lot of credit, because I see a different Rolly. Rolly beating the lining out of niggas now because he's learning how to box. And when you got that kind of power with a real mind, with a real mind now, it make you dangerous. Like, just think them check hooks and those solar plex punches I seen from Rolly. Never thought I would see that. And this is a dude who's really, really punching. You heard Tank Davis say, "That nigga's punching." So,
right.
Other than Rolly, it's easy money for Devin Haney at 47.
I think that's why they wanted to get that fight out the way. I think Rolly is a danger in punching, but I think he's still a little green too and wet behind the ears. I don't think Rolly has the speed to keep up with a Devin Haney. I think a lot of people mistake the speed and the intelligence of this guy in the ring. Remember, this guy's been around the best fighters all his life, and I'm not taking away from any other fighters because they're all the same guys. All these guys are in the top or most mentioned category of current boxers, have been around the same top guys, and because they've been around these guys, they are getting tooled and sharpened in the Home Depot bags with all the gifts in it, and Clay's dropping his chips all over his shirt, his peanuts. I mean, oh, I know it. Honey barbecue hot sauce chips. Oh no. but
I had to look back at it like,
yo, my bad. But no, a lot of these guys are other than that, they're green because they see what the fan base wants, and they're not looking at what the skill needs to, what you need to do to bring that skill to the ring. They're not adjusting. They're not making backup plans. They're just coming in with one thing, and it's creating bad fight for a lot of these guys that are coming up, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is the guy. This is the next guy," and then they get exposed every single time.
But Ray, let me ask you this: you've seen Ishmael a long time in boxing. When he gets guys, they got to do what he say, or he'll drop them. Okay. So I think the thing with Rolly is we can't compare him to what we thought he was because he actually got one of the best coaches in boxing. I know we don't hear a lot about him, but we're talking about one of the best teachers, and actually, one of the guys that always, any fight that gets under him, they get a lot better. So that's the thing I'm saying. You can't scratch out the coach because I think his coach puts him over the edge because you got to remember he got this crazy power with somebody controlling the strings that we never seen. Think about that Ryan fight. That wasn't just Rolly knocking him out. Rolly took his time and beat the tacos out of him. We never thought we would see Rolly doing that. I mean, it was tacos everywhere. It was crazy.
Remember, when you're not on the juice, bro, it changes everything.
Yeah, but don't forget Ryan was a 9-time national champion. Let's not forget Ryan physically has all the gifts. He got all the gifts from God.
Ryan is just distracted, bro. That's what he is. He's distracted. He needs to humble himself in a real way, as far as especially like finding a trainer, somebody who's gonna help him bring the best version of himself to the table. Until Ryan figures that whole situation out for himself, it's like I'm with Bill on that. As far as like, I don't even want to be involved in the Ryan Garcia business until I know that we got somebody who's really trying to compete at the highest level and put in the work and show up at an agreed upon weight and compete, compete in a straight across the board, fair, leveling playing field. You just don't know where he's going to be at mentally and what he's willing to do that could throw the whole value of the fight off. I think Devin gambled a lot trying to make that Ryan Garcia fight happen, and he ended up losing a lot more, not just in the ring, but just the overall build up to the fight, just all the antics. It was just an awkward, crazy situation to be in, pushing a fight with him.
And answer that question that you did have for me. Tito know to stay away from Devin. He got skills, so I think Rolly understands the same thing. You know what I mean?
You said Tito?
Oh yeah.
Hold on. You talking about the 2-time Ring Magazine champion?
Oh yeah, he know better. So I'm just making sure. I'm throwing shots, by the way. I'm just making sure that we understand also that Rolly and Tito, if you want to put Salas involved, I think that you could say that they're close to the same level, right? And Rolly know better, Tito know better. They both know better. They know what that guy did to them.
He beat 2 Hall of Famers, dog. Are you serious?
Okay.
Oh my God. I can't wait till when we beat the Puerto Rican. When we beat him, Ray, don't disappear. Because you and I know Tio is gonna wipe his work boots off on Shakur.
Listen, that's a different fighter, bro. But we'll see.
Shakur fighting Yoshi, what was his name? Yoshino.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. Or beating up. What was the dude? The American hero, man. Jamel Herring. That's what he talk. That dude. Come on, Ray, man.
We'll see. We'll see.
You're scaring me, man.
Listen,
You're scaring me now.
If it goes the other way, you need to come back here.
I always come back.
And I got some humble pie. I'm going to throw it in the oven right now, and we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, I like bean pie.
Okay, I'll throw a couple of beans on top.
I like this guy Crocker, right? What I'm noticing, it seems like the guys across the pond that they come to scrap, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think Crocker probably be the most competitive out of all of them, just because I think what happens here, American style boxing, it's almost like the rap game. Everybody tried to fight the same, man. Mm-hmm. There's no diversity in style. And what I noticed about, like, you take Sam No, for instance. I mean, he was outgunned, he was outmatched skill wise, but he came to fight, man. And that's what makes good. That what make a good fight, when somebody shows up and they may not have all the skills, they may not have all the accolades. But guess what? They got 2 hands and a good heartbeat, and they're in shape, and they come to fight, man. And a lot of times, it's not the big name guys that give you the most trouble. Sometimes it get to be an off-brand type of dude that'll give you their work, that you give you what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times over here in America, we caught up in name recognition. And I think that also goes because of the content creators, the name, they push the narratives. So yeah, of course we're gonna get caught up in name recognition, and we so quick to dismiss these other guys that we don't know. We just automatically call them bombs. And then when they show up and give your fighter some good work, now you tell me, oh, my fighter got exposed. No, this is boxing, brother. Right. This guy out there that don't have a name, that'll give you guy what he looking for. They give him some good work. So that's what I seen even last night. Cordina, he's some good work for somebody. He may not be a world beater. He may not be, upper echelon, but he's some good work. You better bring a lunch, because he gonna clock in and he gonna work. You're gonna have to work too. And that's what I'm saying. That's Brian Norman. He allowed Devin Haney to make him put his hands in his pocket, and that's the last thing that he needed to do, put his hands in his pocket. And that's why you get beat a lot of times. You got to let your hands go. You got to move those hands, man. Especially when you out skilled, you can't allow somebody who's better than you to sit back and think and pick you apart. Right. You got to get active, brother. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a superior boxer compared to Joe Frazier, but what did Joe Frazier do? He got active. You got to get active. That's what it boiled down to.
He got on him and ain't let go. You know what I mean? And that being said, though, segueing the conversation and continue to move it forward, Joe Cordina and Gabriel Flores last night, potentially fight of the night, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how you guys felt about it, but Joe Cordina making his return. He's trying to campaign and give it one last shot at potentially becoming a champion. This fight right here had that WBO whatever belt on an intercontinental, whatever the international, whatever the hell the belt was that it was. That was what was on the line. Gabriel Flores on his own little winning streak, but to me, Gabriel Flores is always a fighter who kind of showed some he just showed flaws, openings, a little bit. He gets baited into fights he shouldn't be in, and he seemed to be open to that right hand in a lot of other fights, and last night was no different. But still, in my opinion, Gabriel Flores showed up to fight in his hometown. He wasn't going to go out like that. Joe Cordina did his thing. What do you guys think about that fight, and how do you guys think Abdullah Mason, Joe Cordina in Cleveland, Ohio sound for the young phenom and youngest champion right now in boxing, Abdullah Mason?
I would say that and this is me being from Cleveland, I live in the suburbs now, but being in Cleveland, I don't know if Abdullah Mason should fight here yet. And I say that because he's not known. I don't know if you guys familiar with Tiger Johnson. Tiger Johnson is a star in Cleveland. Tiger Johnson is known. He bought the $1 million worth of game to East Cleveland. Even I don't go to East Cleveland. I mean, them niggas flip over cars over there. So, I mean, I think they got to really work on getting Abdullah Mason a fight, maybe in Houston. I just think he really he doesn't have a fan base big enough here. And I think he'll be let down because he's not somebody that's like, I remember when me and my wife seen the billboard of him, they was like, who the hell is this guy? That's what people were saying about the world champion. Who is this guy? I'm talking about downtown in his city, so he got to really work on that before he come home. If not, it's going to be a failure, just to be totally honest.
Yeah. What do you think, Ray?
I definitely don't think Cleveland. I think if I was Abdullah Mason and I do want to fight like that, and I just came from Riyadh, I think I want to make my name more global. I think I take this fight to his home, at least England, you know what I mean, or Scotland or so. I'm dead ass. Look, I think an international fight brings him a more of a fan base. He already got a fan base with the international people already, especially fighting the last guy. I forgot. I don't know why I don't remember people's name today. I'm brain farting.
Sam Noakes.
No. Oh, Sam Noakes. Yeah, Noakes. So putting that fight together will work there. I don't think I would even take the Cordina fight either, even though it's right there for him right just now. I think first of all, Cordina I think needs another round or two, or you know what I mean, in the division before we even know who he is, because it was a good fight last night, but he's also coming off a layoff. You think he's trying to jump in with the what they say in the Fast and Furious? You can't just jump.
No, he had a fight before. He had a fight before this.
I know, but I'm saying, well, listen, he still look a little rusty to me. It looked like he's had some stuff to work on, and I think he goes in there and he tries that same 1-2 shit with Abdullah Mason. He gets cooked. I think Abdullah Mason is working on the things that he had mishaps on. The only thing is, if Abdullah Mason doesn't fight like he did with Sam Noakes, I promise you, it's going to be a boring fight because they're going to both be at the end of their jabs, and we're going to be looking at people just in a square circle just dancing. I think Abdullah will have to get in his bag to dismember this dude from his neck. You know what I mean? Pause again. Damn. Anyway, take his head off. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's definitely a good fight for him to go get the international fan base, because he's already known here in the States, and like you said, it's Cleveland. You know what I mean? Maybe not there, but if he keeps repping, and I think the bigger the stage, the better the fight.
He don't rep Cleveland. I think he run into that same thing Sean Porter's doing, where he's gonna be a man without a country because he's not making it clear that he's from here. Anytime Tiger Johnson do anything, I'm from Cleveland. I mean, I'm telling you from somebody that's in the city that work right downtown. They don't know the guy. You ask anybody. I mean, you can ask the most vanilla person in the world in Cleveland. They know about Tiger Johnson, the Olympian, but they don't know Abdullah Mason. I think it's because he lives in Houston. He might just have to do his thing in Houston, because he didn't do like Jared and he didn't do like the other guys and come up here. He didn't come up here. He came up elsewhere. He's like a Mike Tyson, where Mike Tyson might have been born in Brownsville, but he ain't living no Brownsville for the important years of his life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I got you. I just think the UK would be a good.
That's a great option. Go get that UK money, man.
That's a good way to put that fight on.
Man, I don't know, man. I disagree, man. I think let Abdullah Mason do his thing in Cleveland, Ohio. Don't give up that home field advantage. I think he's a young a young champion. I think he had a hard fight with Sam Noakes, a gritty fight, and I think he deserves an opportunity to get that home field advantage. And you know, I don't know, but you know,
where could he sell the fight at? Clay? That's the question. It couldn't be at the Fieldhouse Arena. He wouldn't sell that out. It couldn't be at the Indians Arena. It couldn't be at the Huntington Center. Maybe the Huntington Center could hold. It might hold about 10,000, but he can't go to the Fieldhouse and sell out the Fieldhouse. He just can't.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think the home field. First of all, I think that's the game plan. I think they want to make this fight happen in Ohio. I already think that's what's going to happen.
It might be Akron, though. They might do it in Akron.
I think it's going to be Cleveland, personally, but we'll see. But I think it's a great fight for him stylistically. More importantly, right? Like, more importantly, I think this young champion is still inexperienced in so many ways. That got exposed a lot in that Sam Noakes fight, and I think Joe Cordina, 34 years old, has a lot of experience. I think he takes Abdullah Mason into the late rounds as well, if not, you know, a decision, definitely into the late rounds. I favor Abdullah Mason, obviously, to win the fight no matter what. I think the young bull is just, you know, I don't think Joe Cordina is ready to fight that type of energy, but it looks good on the resume. It gives him a good title defense and gets him active, because I still think he's playing catch up a little bit when he's talking about getting the ring with a potential Shakur Stevenson, or, you know, I don't know, Gervonta Tank Davis would ever get back into the conversation, or even an Andy Cruz, you know what I'm saying, who brings a crazy Olympian and amateur pedigree to the table. So I love it. I think Joe Cordina is a great fight next.
Andy Cruz is like Michael Jordan in the amateurs, dog. If I'm just telling you, I watched him in the amateurs. He was like Michael Jordan in the amateurs. I mean, the thing I think we seeing with a lot of these top ranked fighters is what we all have seen. They get these soft touches and these showcase fights, and we don't know what they can really do. And they'll be 20, 30. They say this about Oscar, but they don't say it enough about, I mean, Sam Noakes shouldn't have given Abdullah Mason that kind of trouble. He just shouldn't have, because Sam is not that good. Sam ain't that good. And we seen Sam really putting hands and feet on him at points in the fight. Not saying Abdullah didn't win, but we got to see what we seen. And what we seen is that, is Abdullah Mason as good as we think? Or is it going to take another title fight to find out he's not what we thought? But that's the same thing we had with Brian Number, for being honest. We're fighting nobodies, and we're trying to gauge how you look against somebody who can't beat you. Y'all know we watch a lot of these fights be overmatched. So we don't never know what guys can really do until they get into a title fight. That's the first fight I've seen in Abdullah Mason's fight, other than the little flash knockdowns, where I actually seen him in a fight that was somewhat competitive. I mean, and that shouldn't be. He's too far along his career for that just to be the first real challenge of his career. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. I think he's kind of
that's kind of why the Cordina fight makes sense and for its development. Just for that reason that you spoke.
Yeah. I think that fight is a great fight for him to develop, man. I don't know, man. I love it for him. You know what I'm saying? I thought Joe Cordina.
How many more development fights is he gonna get, Clay? God damn. Can he fight somebody with a pulse that can actually beat him?
Who, Abdullah?
Abdullah Mason.
Sam Noakes didn't have a pulse.
No, I'm just saying we pushing him back in the same box to fight dudes we know he can beat. You know he's gonna beat Cordina. That's not no fight.
Who you gonna match him up with?
Well, it's not the fight.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's so much of him fighting Cordina. I think it's more of Cordina fighting him because of the opportunity of him getting that title and just getting awarded the international belt. I think that actually brings more of a and you know, you're as good as your last fight. So when you're the hot ticket, the first thing you want to do is get that guy that's also the hot ticket, and especially when you got that sanctioning with you. Another option is, I don't think Cordina's a bad fighter. I think a lot of people overslept him because of the what's his name? Not Kakashi. Is it Kakashi? Yeah, Kakashi.
It was Anthony Kakashi.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Kakashi just outplayed that guy, man. That guy, he was, you know, talking about moving up anyway. Remember, this guy's almost 6 foot tall. He's probably the only guy that's going to match height and reach advantage with Abdullah Mason. And you know, like I said, it could be either a boring fight or it can go a toe-to-toe fight, which I think we'll like that fight. I think that fight brings a lot of dog out of both of them.
Yeah,
you know the crazy thing about the whole the fights in general.
What's Shakur Stevenson gonna fight Joe Cordina?
Yeah, you look at the smaller weight classes. You look at the smaller weight classes. You say, why are these guys so much better? because they're actually fighting really tough fights early in their career. Bam Rodriguez is who he is because he's been fighting some tough fights. You can say those guys were old, whatever you want to say. Bam's been fighting those tough guys. Same thing with Inoue. I think that's the problem. These guys are not getting real challenges, and I don't care about people agreeing with my opinion. It's what we've been seeing. Ain't no pickle pulling here. We seeing, and if I love the sport so much, I watch old ass fights just to watch them and have fun. And if I'm watching fights, we're seeing guys fight fights they know they can win. How can you improve on a fight that you know you're going to win? How many damn tune-ups are you going to take? How many are we going to take?
I want to tell you, here's the flaw in the argument right here.
Go ahead.
Everybody that we want these guys to fight are not willing to get into the ring with these low-level guys. Because, freaking and my man, he would be considered a low-level guy. What's his goddamn name? Who are we talking about? Slipped my mind. God, what's his name? Y'all help me out. What's the man that we just talking about?
What, Sam Noakes?
Sam Noakes?
Abdullah Mason.
Yeah.
So Shakur's not going to fight Abdullah Mason. Tank's not going to fight Abdullah Mason. Any of those guys the higher level guys at 135, they're not going to give him a shot. They're going to say he hadn't done anything. That's all you keep hearing now. That's why we can't. That's what Boots ran into. Sean Porter, I'm retiring. Danny Garcia, I ain't fighting this guy. Keith Thurman, I don't know who he is. Elvis Spence was like, he hadn't done anything. Terrence Crawford, the same thing. He hadn't done anything. Where he fought? I don't have nothing to win. I don't have nothing to gain. These older guys are not doing what Oscar De La Hoya and all those guys did in Miguel Cotto and Shane Moses. They're not fighting the younger guys. They're not passing the torch. They're saying you hadn't done anything. Screw you. Go fight somebody else. Okay, well, there is nobody else to fight, so I'm just going to have to keep fighting quote-unquote tune-ups because you won't fight.
You know what I would say?
It puts you in a bad spot, man.
And this is what I would say to that, Coach Eddie. I look at a guy like Daniel Dubois, right? He got beat dead early on by the big slow guy, Joe Joyce. Came back from that fight, got better, ended up working his way with the WBA to fight Usyk. Got beat dead. Okay, cool. Then he fought again, got himself back in position again to fight Usyk. Got beat dead again, but he had went on a nice run. We've seen him beat Herkovich, seen him beat a couple good guys along the way. I just think if you look at fighting, the progression, you look at the heavyweight division, these guys we seeing what they can actually do. And they're actually getting better because they're fighting tough fights. That's why no matter what about David Benavidez, I got to give him all the respect in the world. He's trying to get the tough fights. Whether those guys give him more or not, that's why he keep getting better because he's taking tough-ass fights. People got to remember, he took Demetrius Andre's old.
You kind of made my point for me, though, because Usyk didn't say Daniel Dubois hadn't done enough. He actually fought him.
Oh, no, I agree with your point. I actually agree with your point.
That's what they're going to say. You ain't done enough. Who are you? They're going to make all these excuses not to fight you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like these guys, they can't win. But you already see Shakur saying, he had done to call him a young pup. I'm a champ. Fight me. You ain't done enough. You know, come on. You can't win. This is a different ball game. That's why Boots can't get these fights. Because they always making excuses why not to fight the dude. You know what? And by all sense of purposes, I mean, if Terrence Crawford was to fight Boots, if Boots is who he's supposed to be and who people think he is, he's supposed to beat Terrence Crawford. He's supposed to.
Or he gets stretched out. Either one.
He's almost 40. He's almost 40 years old. He's supposed to be able to beat Terrence Crawford if he's the goods. He's supposed to send Terrence Crawford into retirement if he's the goods. But we'll never know because Terrence Crawford said you ain't done enough. You don't deserve a fight. Don't even mention my name.
No, I don't think Terrence is saying you ain't done enough. You ain't deserve a fight. I think Terrence is just saying bigger fish to fry. Sorry, bro. I'm in a different chapter in my life. In my career, I've done the work, and I'm not taking the big money that's on the table for me to make the best fights in the fights that I want to do. I've earned the right to do what I want to do, bro. It's not that you haven't earned it. You probably have earned it. You deserve it. I think Terrence said that too as well. Like, nah, he's definitely earned it. It's just that pick you or pick me. I'm gonna pick me. And what does that mean? Big money over here, big fights over here, or be fair to you. I mean, you got time, you got fights ahead of you to build your legacy up. I don't need to give up nothing that I've worked for to be fair to you. You know what I'm saying? That's not what this is all about. You know what I mean? This is about my time. I'm the undisputed 3-weight undisputed champion, and I don't owe you anything in real life. respectfully, like, respect what you're doing in the ring, but to give up on something that I want so that I can check some box from you or for the boxing game. Yeah, right. Welcome to America. You know what I mean? That's not the way we're going to do it. And that's not the way we're going to carry it. But as far as Abdullah Mason is concerned, listen, man, he's a champion. And I think we all understood the moment that he picked up that title that, listen, no more, he's in the big leagues, right? Put your big boy pants on. Mm-hmm. All your fights are going to count now. You know what I mean? People are coming for that belt. You're not going to be able to, you're not fighting 8-round fights no more. A little 10-round, you know what I mean? Maybe a 10-rounder here or there, maybe, but not because you got a title. Your title's always going to be on the line. You got the big show coming on. And when you think about it that way, Joe Cordina is a nice tune-up, a nice, you know what I'm saying, a nice fight to get him in the conversation. You know what I mean? That's about as good as it's going to get, because after Joe Cordina, you either going to have to barbecue at 135 and unify, or you even consider moving up to 140 potentially at some point in time as he's growing and becoming a bigger, he's 21 years old. He's a young bull in the game. I love the Joe Cordina fight. I always regret that he didn't get an opportunity to fight a Giovanni Cabrera. And I think this fight right here kind of jumps right in there, gives him that opportunity. He made it past a gritty test against a Sam Noakes, in my opinion, who's another fighter just like Kevin Lele Sajo, who I think, as you guys watch him develop in the division, that fight Abdullah had with him will age like wine. I think it'll be something to take into consideration, because I don't think a lot of people are going to beat him easily at all. If he even gets beat at 135, I think Sam Noakes is a legitimate future champion in the 135-pound division. I think this is a good look for him, Joe Cordina, man, and I'm looking forward to the announcement, and let's see what happens when that fight gets announced. You know what I'm saying? I just want to read off this on the screen. Kaiju said, BVO, you just said development is important. Don't be a hypocrite. Sam Noakes will drop any one of us in one round. He a whole dog. Yeah, I co-sign that, man. I think it's the same thing with the Diego Pacheco fight for me, man. I think a lot of this has to do with what people thought he was supposed to do with a second-class Kevin Lele Sajo, right?
Had to get him.
Yeah, he stepped off. He probably went dead for a second there, but I think that's what this has a lot to do with, right? Ray, I mean, do you agree? Don't you think that we're taking a little bit away from Kevin a little bit?
Yeah,
by like
making that's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was like, yo, it's this guy came to fight, bro. He was there. He was there to win that fight. He wasn't there to just lay down and get down, bro. He was there to win, and it exposed. And I always like to use. I'm telling you, I'm using the word exposed. He exposed a lot of the things we questioned with Diego Pacheco, and it's not that Diego Pacheco didn't do his thing. Like I said, I think he stepped up when he needed to, but I think he was using the wrong utensils in the kitchen. That's it.
Yeah, and I think when it's all said and done, man, there was also positive things to pull from the fight for Diego. I don't know. I think Diego had some positive things going for him. We got to give him some respect, man. We can't just make it a whole entire he's just horrible and he got exposed. It'll age, it'll move forward, and we'll see what ends up happening. Shout out to my brother Angelo Reyes Boxing in the building. Angelo, what's good with you, King?
Hey, man, just listening to you guys. I like the impromptu Sundays. I know you only got about 20 minutes left, just to let everybody speak. Does everybody else on the chat know it's an open panel? Like, I don't know if the, you put the StreamYard out.
I know you put the link in there.
Because it might be so far ahead that they can't see it anymore.
I just did it again. I just put it up there
again. It up again. Okay, all right, cool. There you go.
Again, you know what I mean?
See, you got Shelton Moore coming in. So yeah, no, just listening to you guys. We called the fights yesterday. Really cool watch party. Clay just keeps holding it down with his sultry voice, talking about jabs and hooks and whatnot. I've heard what you guys are saying, what BVO was saying. Yeah, man, Diego Pacheco is just like what we thought he would be. You guys already know I agree with both you and Ray. I was one of the first people to say, don't sleep on Sajo. Sajo might for real test this guy. And then I even said if I was going to pick an upset, it would be Sajo over Pacheco. We saw Sajo knock him down. And now we know. Now we know that Diego Pacheco is not ready for someone like, Jermall Charlo. I mean, I'm just, you know,
I'm glad you're waking up
man.
and opening your eyes, Rez. I'm glad you're opening your eyes.
Look, I know some people think that maybe the cornflake fight wasn't the greatest test, but the way Diego looked, I don't know. I mean, you guys heard Eddie Hearn say the word Charlo. That's what he said. He said, we might take so and so or Charlo, and you know, right away we were already thinking you might want to calm down with that Charlo talk.
Like, I don't know, man. Diego, I think Diego, man.
Wait a minute. Hold on, fellas. Hold on. Let's not put the cart before the horse. How come we can't just say Sancho was a little bit better than people thought he was? Why can't it be that?
That's what we're saying. That's exactly what we're saying.
That's what we're trying to tell everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that Diego. It's not that Diego Pacheco is just not bad. It's bad or it's not as good as we thought he was. It's just Sancho is a lot better than we thought he was. He's 23. Was he 28-0 with 25 knockouts, something like that?
Like, yeah, he's 26-0 with 23 knockouts. Sheldon.
But he's a French fighter, man.
Come on, man. It doesn't matter who he fought. He knocked out 23. It doesn't matter who he fought. He knocked out 23.
Hey, it got knocked out all them bums in 16 in a row, but not from this guy is not. Shut up, Shelton.
No, what are you talking about, fool? We knew that dude was trash. Because we found out in fight 7. Hold on. We found out in fight 17 that dude wasn't shit.
Yeah, we found out at 35 years old.
So don't start that.
We found out that at 35 years old that he ain't all that. He's good, but he ain't all that. Just like right now, Pacheco, he still ain't all that. We found that out when he fought Stone Cold Nelson.
You thought, well, if you was going to get knocked out in 3 rounds. He's better than you thought. So let's be quiet with that.
He extended Stone Cold Nelson's career, man. He's like, man, I thought I was going to retire after this fight, but hold on, this young buck just proved to me that I can hang out for a paycheck. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, Pacheco. Look,
Stone Cold Nelson ain't fighting nobody else, man. What are you talking about?
Pacheco. What he's proven.
He's okay. He's okay.
He's not. Let me, bro. Pacheco is a middle of the road fighter. I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's got any special attributes. He comes to work. He puts in the effort, and I give him that. But I'm not gonna say he's the next coming of anything. He is not. He's a middle of the road fighter. He might be like as good as maybe Plant and reach to get one of these trinket belts and be good enough for that. But he ain't elite. He is not elite. He's good enough. That's all he is.
I agree. He's not elite. He's not. He really isn't. We could. I think we all agree on the panel here that Diego Pacheco, at least in that fight, and as of late, hasn't been showing elite qualities. But listen, man, I want to fast forward into the Hamza Shiraz fight, and then I also want to talk about my guy, who I thought was the standout in the evening. You know what I'm saying? And I know we got some potential haters on the panel, but we're still going to talk about it. But I just want the opinion on stylistically. What do you guys think about Diego Pacheco and Hamza Shiraz potentially putting in that work, as Riyadh season seems to be interested in trying to put that fight together? What do you guys think about that fight? I mean, victory obviously is part of the conversation, but just in competitive fight, 168, these two guys are tall, reach, power. What do you say, man? What do you think?
I think what we saw from Shiraz moving up to 168 is that he does have power, and that's right there is where I think Pacheco is going to fall hard when he gets hit by Shiraz. You know, I'm not saying that Shiraz isn't either like the next coming, but the guy does have power. It's undeniable, and it's something we didn't see at 160. So maybe he's a tall dude. He was draining himself. Right. So I think this 168 is going to fit him well. I think against Pacheco, I think this kid needs more work. He needs more work, and there's no need to rush him. Give him a Munguia or something like that, and we'll see what happens. But against Shiraz, I think they're looking to see him getting knocked out.
Yeah, competitive fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Shiraz.
Well, for me,
get somebody.
For me, number one, who is the lead?
Shelton, hold on.
Who is the lead at 68?
Go ahead, Uncle JD.
Oh, I was just saying, I kind of second that. I think Shiraz gets him out of there. I'm gonna say that fight goes 6 rounds. To me, Pacheco seems like, I'm not gonna say he's scary, but he's a very apprehensive fighter. Like I mentioned earlier, he fights like a guy who's been knocked out before, and he hasn't been knocked out. So I don't know what's going on upstairs with him. And that fight last night definitely did not help his mental capacity. I think right now, you go back and look at that fight, he looked very, very amateurish. The footwork was horrible. The grabbing with the windshield wiper, sliding your head from side to side. And what are you doing, bro? The underhooks, I mean, I was very unimpressed last night. And I think Shiraz, he lines him up and he gets him out of there.
Yeah, he was definitely looking at the referee for help too. Like, hey man, come
all
on.
All night.
He was begging for help, right? Like he was just looking at the referee like, please help me, please. Hold on, I'm trying to unmute Sheldon right now, but I can't. Sheldon, unmute yourself. There you go. Go ahead, Sheldon. You good? Go ahead, build on it. What do you think about Hamza Shiraz and Diego Pacheco?
Well, I really don't know about either because beating Edgar Blinken don't do too much. Hamza Shiraz going 12 with this guy nobody's ever heard of tells me that guy was better than people thought. It doesn't really tell me too much. I don't think anybody at 68 right now is elite. None of them. So we have to see. Let's put the fight together and see what happens. But I don't think any of those guys are elite at 68. None of them.
Come on, man. You got to put some respect on the greatest 168 Puerto Rican fighter of this era.
The real takeover, Edgar. Terror Squad. Malanga.
Bro.
But let's talk about who I want to talk about. I want to talk about somebody right now that needs to be.
Hey, somebody's got to mute.
Right now. I got him. Yeah,
somebody's got to go mute.
It's Shelton. I got him. I want to talk about my guy, the standout, the fighter of the evening, underrated, but needs to get some respect put on his damn name. Ernesto Tito Mercado.
Oh, man.
Salute to everybody in the building. If you don't know about this young bull, man, tap in. Because 140, hey, what do y'all think about Tito last night and putting in that work? How did he look to you, man? Coming off that hiatus, 11 and a half months off, man. What do you say?
He took the trash out like he was supposed to do. Good for him.
Okay.
That's it. He's got power. I give him that. He's got power. That's it.
First of all, I'm shocked that you're not repping harder for your Latino brother.
No, man, because I'm not on code, man. I don't do that shit.
Bro, he not PR, bro. He Honduran. You know that. He root for Tito only.
Tito barks a lot. He's barely ranked with one right now. Now he got that belt. He's just barely ranked in one with the WBO. Nobody else gives a shit about him. He just talks a lot, and good for him. He's kind of like early on Kid Austin, that they got their names talking because they were barking and doing all that good stuff. Good for him. He's got his name out there, this and that. But I need to see more. I'm not crowning him anything. He's got power. I like that he could be exciting. He took out the trash. Good for him. Let me see what you can do with a real dog.
I like that point, but I'm going to give you the power. But I like the punch placement. I think he's very fast and he's very accurate.
Yes.
I've always thought he was a good fighter at where he was. I just thought he was a little green in rounds, and that's the only thing I held him accountable to is him getting dragged into deep out of those situations. And he looked to do a good job. He got him out of there when he needed to. Oh, he's trying to the crowd loves you. You see that? Bring it. Listen, bring it. But
you guys are diabolical, bro.
At the end of the day, the guy does show good promise. I mean, the eye test is there. I think he needs to work on his footwork a little bit too, because I think when he's throwing, he's jumping into his shots a lot, and that's how he's going to get caught and knocked the hell out. But the guy shows a lot of discipline as far as calculating his shots when he does throw his punches. So I think he is a danger at 140. But does he get any of the elite fighters? Probably more high risk than low reward. So I'm going to say no.
Hey Clay, real quick, was that booing from the last fight that Shakur had in his hometown versus?
No, that boo was for you.
That was when they booed Shakur out of his own stadium, bro. That's what's gonna happen in the garden.
Calm down, people. Calm down. Give him a chance. I don't want them to do you like that.
Exactly.
Listen, Clay. Listen. If you guys want to go ahead and just listen to the watch party from yesterday, or even when we were talking about it on Friday about Tito Mercado. See, here's the thing. Clay just is really into Tito Mercado. And I think the NFL comparison to Tito Mercado, if I'm being honest, guys, is he's the JJ McCarthy of the 140 division.
Damn, bro.
Looks nice. Looks nice. You got talent, but I don't know what you're gonna do when you actually in the big leagues. It's nice when you're winning a national championship with Michigan and you got all them other things happening for you, right? That's JJ McCarthy, but we'll see what he, everybody's still trying to figure out, is JJ McCarthy a bust or not? And I'm still trying to figure that out about Tito Mercado too, because I agree with everything you're saying, HLD. For a guy who talks a lot, he has not fought anyone even in the top 10, bro. So I don't know. He might be good. Maybe. We'll see.
He's exciting. Let's not get him wrong. He's exciting to watch, right? And he's doing what he's doing. But I'm not giving him that. Bro, if I don't give it to Xander Zayas just yet, I'm gonna give it to this young.
But why is it gotta be all or nothing? Why can't we?
Because I'm giving him that. He's good.
And look forward to his next fight, man. What's up?
That's all I'm giving him. I'm giving him that he's exciting to watch. He's got power. He took out the trash like Daddy told him to take out the trash. Now, let's see when you got to break some concrete and mix some shit and see what you can really do. I want to see that. Can you make a foundation for real? Can you build this? Let's see if you can. Until then, I'm just saying I'm giving it what it is. I'm not crowning him anything.
I mean, he's not to be crowned. I agree. You don't crown somebody. You don't crown him. That's not what we should do. That'd be wrong of us to do that. But listen, man, I'm very optimistic at the eye test. Yes. I liked he did some good things last night. He was poised. He worked the body. I like the way he controlled a lot of that fight with his lead hand. He was level changing, check hooking, turning the dude. You know what I'm saying? He obviously hit him with some big shots. You know what I'm saying? Accurate puncher. And he got those long arms. I think he's a great dance partner for a lot of fighters at 140, man. I think he gives a lot of those guys some issues, man. I think he beats a lot of them.
We'll see if he can. About Antonio Moran, bro.
Oh, yeah. Well, Antonio Moran was supposed to be okay. All right. It's cool.
I said he was going to be a test for him. Listen.
I know, man.
And he was a test for him, right?
He was.
Let me tell you something. Antonio Moran has showed me, and I do give you credit for this, that dude needs to retire, bro. You did show me that. I will give you that moment right there. But as far as
hold on, I got a bunch of people on the panel.
Yeah, they want to talk about Tito, bro. I'm gonna shut up. Hold on.
Let me get him in there, man. Let me try to get everybody in here to talk about the magnificent one, the phenom, Ernesto Tito Mercado, bro. Because you guys just ain't up to speed. Let's see if somebody else on the panel. There we go. There we go. Shout out. Hold up. We got somebody who clearly know about some boxing on the panel right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where the hatred comes from. I don't know where the hatred comes from and where the feeling of just disgust they have for this up and coming young prospect turned contender Ernesto Tito Mercado, who put on a clinic last night. Talk to me, Kyle. What do you think about Ernesto, man?
Yeah, prospect turned contender indeed, man. Like once I did find out about Tito, man, I said this dude is everything right with boxing. He can box, but people don't know that because he's too busy knocking these fools out. And so it's like, yeah, last night we seen the poise. He lost me money because he said that he wanted to go rounds. It is what it is, but right. I don't know if that was true or not. I don't know how genuine that statement was, but man, Tito, I think he's a problem for Keyshawn, Shakur, and all of them right now. Would he beat them? No. But I think he poses issues for them, at least right now. In a few more fights, 2026 will be very telling for Tito. And let's see how Eddie moves him, man.
I love it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What you just said right there, perfect, right? I'm not favoring him over these guys, but I think he's a great dance partner. I think he tests these guys in a real way. And like you said, if Eddie moves this guy right, 2026, I think 2027 is a big year for him. I think the eye test tells us that there's a lot to be optimistic about. He has a great foundation to build on, man, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Put him with Paro, put him in with Paro, and then we'll see.
I do want to say Moran ain't an eye test.
Clearly not for you guys. Clearly.
I do want to say one thing about Tito Mercado. If it is true that he did want to go rounds, he said he almost ruined his plans by knocking him down early. He said he almost stopped him, right? So that goes to say is like, if you weren't that impressed with his performance, that wasn't Tito Mercado at 100%. And he's still the person who knocked Antonio Moran out the quickest. Everyone else knocked him out in like the 7th round. Devin Haney and Andy Cruz, you can say what you want about their power, but he took it easy and still knocked him out before anyone else. I think
and almost cleaned him up in the first round. He was upset with himself, like, oh, come on, get up, Antonio. Right. Don't do that to me, bro. I didn't even hit you that hard, bro. Come on, man.
The guy already came in soft, man. The guy already came
off the roof, bro. He didn't get knocked down.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Ernesto Tito Mercado, man. I'm super optimistic about him. Shout out to my guy Blaze, pound for pound in the building. Blaze, what's good, Blaze? Talk to me, man. Can you speak to this half-cocked panel right now about Ernesto Tito Mercado? Because we got a side of this panel right now that we just got some cynical naysayers. There's some real, like, you know what I mean? It's a gloomy day. Cup half.
You're gonna stop pitting me under that bus, bro. I ain't say none of that.
Optimism. There's a whole lot of.
No, you throwing some negative. No, you throwing some negative jabs at me, bro. I ain't say none of that,
man. We got this anti-Puerto Rican movement going on up here, man.
Ridiculous. And HL is even more diabolical because he's Puerto Rican. Or are you Puerto Rican, HL?
Yeah,
you don't got no love. Ernesto's disgusting. Like, brother, you didn't even give me nothing. You just said, I'm not impressed. Antonio Boo Boo Moran. Let's see what you killed him the worst. The Puerto Rican killed him the worst up here.
I want to see him with Paro. Give me Paro, or something to that effect, and then I can say, okay, the kid's got some skills. He really can go up, but I can't do it with this guy, man. No,
I think we should add some context to this because there's a new class coming up between 130 and 140 pounds, and they're under 24 years old. Ernesto's a part of the Abdullah generation. Like, those are his peers.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Blaze, what's good, man? You muted, by the way. What's good? What's on your mind, man? Talk to these
listen, I would just wait. I didn't want to talk over nobody. This is just one of them things where you're so excited for boxing, you want to see somebody that come up next that look good in the ring under bright lights. And Tito look good. My thing with him is like you said, the poise in the ring, but I like the defense, the parrying. The parrying was nice as far as him knocking down them punches that was coming at him, and just him being very deliberate about executing power punches against Moran. I thought it just looked good. And then, like if he was saying he was carrying him, he might have, because when he locked in that 6th round, that was like the Matrix. That was a perfect round. Even when he hurt him, he didn't necessarily rush in and do a bunch of flurries. He really just took his time, lined him up, and got him out of there when he wanted to get him out of there. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that. We don't really want to see everybody. Some people want to see the rock 'em, sock 'em, and people brawl and all of that. But we want to see the smooth science. I want to see counters, and I want to see sharp punches. I want to see ring generalship. I want to see maintaining range, and it looked like Mercado looked good against it all. And so, say what you want. If you want to think he's unproven, then my thing is put him in there. And if I'm not mistaken, ain't there that clip running around with Shakur talking real crazy to him? Shakur was talking crazy to him.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was weird.
It was weird. It was weird.
What he said to Tito, not good.
Just like Tio said it to Shakur, I'm calling it with Shakur saying it to Mercado. That was weird. Eddie Hearn was sitting right there, though. So is that Eddie Hearn's fighter? Is Tito Eddie Hearn's fighter?
Yes, he is.
They can make it happen. They can make it happen. And this is what I'm talking about right now. It's like one thing about it right now is that how everybody's setting it up and these promoters getting in the mix, we're having fights happen. And there's so many different combinations for Shakur, so many different combinations for Devin, so many different combinations for whoever's fighting right now. Even Tank, when he get his life together. Shout out to Tank, wish him the best. You know what I'm saying? He just fought in March. He just went through this legal stuff. When he get back together, when he get his stuff together and he want to fight, we going to be all for it. He's still him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, listen, 135, 140, 147, man, there's a lot of smoke around there for them to make good competitive fights with people coming up and names. And I don't mind the names for these guys who've been fighting for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But and then I would just say one thing about Shakur. Shakur gets on his way by talking so much. I wish he would just focus on T.O. Anybody who asks him about anybody else, just say something about T.O., but he says everybody else's name. So he's warranted all the criticism that he gets whenever we talk about rehydration clauses, that weird stuff he said to Mercado, the tweets he says about Abdullah Mason, whether he's going from, the Shockey. At first I was like, he got a fight coming, but the history of them talking crazy
it's
to each other.
It's hard being a core supporter that's from Newark, because that shit made me so mad when he said to Tito. It's like, bro, and then the brother shit. It's like it's boxing. I feel how Tito feel. Like, come on, bro. You can be brothers after. Like, if you really my brother, we gonna fight and we gonna reconcile. If not, it wasn't real. So it's a lot.
I don't mind the brother stuff. I don't mind I don't mind the brother stuff. It's not the brother stuff. The brother stuff ain't the issue, because if they're that guilty, there's many names for them to fight and even be in the same division. You feel me? With these politics and these belts, I ain't caring about that. If they're fighting the highest competition and they both get belts and they both fight champions, I'm not tripping about the brother stuff. It's that weird stuff.
Listen.
That is
about that time. Listen, we about to wrap it up. It's about that time. I got a 2-hour limit. That's how you guys got to come up earlier, man. This was getting hot. It was getting on point, but until Tuesday, it is what it is, man. Shout out to everybody who showed up last night on that card, man. I'm excited to see Diego Pacheco, maybe Hamza Shiraz, maybe Diego Pacheco, Jaime Munguia. Let's see which one they're able to lock in. Ernesto, Tito, Mercado got to get a big top 5 dead or alive guy up next. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Joe Cordina, Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney, Lewis Crockett potentially happening. Tuesday we'll be tapping in. Don't forget, it's fight week as usual. Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua has to do this for boxing. Get Jake Paul and pack him up, bro. And get him out of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Until the next one, it's ATP. It's that Combat Media Show, and you know what it is. Y'all.
Already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog. Just let me relax. Stop assuming.